Here's my latest project ready to put together. The Musgrove engine. I've spent about 6 months doing this and looking forward to putting it together. So here's the plans I'll work into, and here's all the parts. There's over 80 parts to make up the engine and over 100 screws to specially make and blacken. And so this is the body part, and probably this is the most challenging part. You've got 2 cylinders here and rotary valves there, and they go on these pedestals, and you have to be able to drill a hole here that comes out right in the middle of that, and then another hole here that comes out in the middle of that one, and line it up here. So you're quite pleased when that works out. This is be the finishing boss that goes on there, and they attach under there, and then you have a guide for the piston rod made of these bits, and this is going to go on the base there, and here's the bearings for the crankshaft that goes there. So on this side I've got all the other working parts. The other challenging bit was this that connects the 2 piston rods together and makes the non-dead center mechanism work. And there's lots of cylinder covers and valve, and they're the pistons, and it's going to be fun putting this together, and the 2 eccentrics. So I'll make a start on that. I won't make you watch all of it. Okay, so I've got the uprights on, and the bearings and the guide rails there, and on the cylinder head I've got most of the bits on, and there's just the rotary valve to put in there, and it has a little O-ring there, and there's the rotary valve. It's a bit like a sliding valve, only on a drum, and that's going to go in here, and then that will be the mechanism. So just got those last few screws to put in, and then these studs go in here. So I've put the rest of the studs in, and the pistons are ready with their little connector joined on, and then there's a slider here that will go on there, and it's going to have another link like that. Looks a bit like a chain, bicycle chain link, and that's got to join with this. That's it, and don't push them up a bit. Then that's going to join with your crankshaft here. So when I was putting this together, I was surprised. I thought, why isn't this piece a bit wider so that that pivot is directly under the piston rod? But that's the way it is. But I might try making a bigger one, see what effect that has. And then there's a bolt goes through here into the crank, but I can't put this together now because I've got to put all these eccentrics on and the flywheel, because I have to pull that out. So these eccentrics are going to have to go on here and they join up there. So I'll do that first. Right, so I've had a slight setback since I assembled more parts and found when you try to turn it over there was a bit of stiffness, and so I've had to take it apart to see where that was, and in the end I found it's this piston rod here is not quite parallel to this slider. So I've used a parallel bar to take up the gap, and I can just see a taper there, and I've got to adjust this attachment here so that that comes over a bit. Originally, you're trying to decide how big this is going to be and whether it's going to line up there, and I've used a parallel or feeler gauges to measure that gap. So it's often the case it's tricky to measure squareness on these shapes, so I've devised a couple of different gadgets like this. When you've got a connecting rod and you want to see that your holes are parallel, so I've got a pin in this straight piece there, and you put that on, see if there's a gap here, and turn it over and see if it's the same, and then your holes are parallel, and that's worked very well. And you just have to be inventive for the different machines that you're building. Okay, so I'll get on and try and adjust that part. So I realised that I built this from the base upwards, and see it seemed to work, but really you should build these parts first and then see where that comes on the base to be more accurate. Well, here we are back together. I've managed to get things running a bit smoother, and you can see the action a little bit there. So just got to fix it to the base and add the flywheel and eccentrics, and I've got the covers there and the inlet, but I'm leaving that off because I use that hole there to help set the timing. So I'm just waiting for, I've got the base, I need some inserts there for that to screw onto, and then I can put the flywheel on there. So it's working a bit better now. So here it is put together. Looks quite good. I haven't got it running yet. It needs a bit of work with the timing, which is easier said than done. That's a fascinating mechanism, but quite complicated. But I might give it a rest for a little while.